Advantage Bharat. India is today rated as the fastest growing economy in the world. The country, fueled by stable government, forward-looking policies, massive investment in infrastructure, and an educated young workforce, is leading the big shift in the global geopolitical power shift. Bharat's massive edge in science and technology is recognized world over, and the massive PE investments of over 100 billion US dollars over the last few decades is the testament of this. Add to this, the population demographics is giving a massive push for India, being recognized as a talent headquarters not just for IT and ITES, but for manufacturing, financial services, research and development. While the aging population in Japan, China and Europe is slowing down their economies, the reverse, with 60% being under 40 years, is working well for the Indian economy. Services sector in India is booming, with its contribution nearing 50% to the GDP. All this is creating massive employment opportunities for Indians. Unemployment rate is lowest ever since independence. New jobs are also being created through the startup world, with Indians taking up to entrepreneurship in a massive way. This is leading to rapid urbanization. United Nations is pegging Indian urban population at 675 million by 2035, an addition of nearly 200 million people in the next 15 years. Further analysis shows that 50 million Indians in the age group of 20 to 29 will move to urban markets over the next decade, creating a massive shortfall in housing. Middle-class Indians, including the lower strata, are extremely excited about educating their children, both boys and girls. India's gross enrollment ratio in higher education is expected to reach 50% by 2030, with more than 15 million coming from other states to pursue education, and with on-campus hostels serving less than 25%, the migrant urban housing shortage is acute. Housing shortage, affordable rentals in India's big cities including Delhi NCR, Bangalore, Mumbai, Hyderabad and Pune is now real. Currently, over 98% of this housing is addressed through unorganized paying guest and hostel accommodation providers. This real estate segment is largely addressed through abysmally low quality and poorly maintained, not fully compliant, unorganized market. Unless addressed with institutional capital over the next decade, India's growth is at threat due to the acute shortage of affordable rental housing for urban migrants. Yes, the problem is real and has to be addressed before India's growth trajectory is compromised, with the massive talent staying away from urban markets due to unavailability of quality housing at affordable rates. It is clear that both quality and service standards are missing at this point in time. And in the post-COVID era, with hybrid workplaces becoming real, companies calling back employees to live in cities and recalling permanent work from home, there is acute pressure on giving hybrid living spaces that are conducive for work during the 2-3 days of work from home in a week. Today's young migrant students and working professionals have limited choice. The rents in larger gated societies are unaffordable and importantly lack flexibility. Add salt to the wound. Societies don't want bachelors, spinsters, students, and people of a certain race. Further, such housing supply is limited and the new builds in the markets are not catching up at the same pace as the rest of the migration. Housing crisis. The rental housing crisis in India, especially in the urban markets, is real. Urban youth, the backbone of India. Where are they staying? How are they staying? How much are they paying? What are the challenges that they are facing? Let's take the example of Bangalore, touted as the Silicon Valley of India. Bangalore has turned out to be the #1 dream destination for Indian engineers from all over the country because of the job opportunities, the cosmopolitan crowd, lovely weather, and affordability. But this dream is turning into a nightmare considering the living conditions in the current PG ecosystem. 2 million white-collared migrants live in such unorganized, unhygienic, poorly maintained, non-compliant, terrible shared housing, reminding us of the labor camps in the Middle East or the asylum refugee camps in the United States. 10 million citizens living in such accommodation, paying $10 billion of annual rentals is the current market size. The value of the real estate inventory is about $50 billion. India will need to add another 10 billion worth of good quality inventory over the next 5 years to meet the growing demand. Apart from the quality of stay and lack of professional